Welcome back to Connect and Transform. In a previous video, I introduced the game Wordle, and in today's video, I'm going to show the shotgun approach that I previously mentioned, and I'm going to see how big a streak I can get where I continue to guess the correct answer. My record is 50 to 0, and I only stopped because I got bored. I don't know if I'll make it to 50 today, but first, before we do that, I wanted to show that if you view the source of Wordle Unlimited, there's this link to this main.js file that basically contains the entire game of Wordle packaged in JavaScript. So I'm going to download that for educational purposes only, and I'm going to use that as a starting point for some future projects. For example, if I'm guessing a word here, like this one here, so I know the position of the N, I know that there is at least one D and that it's not in this position. So I could use all of this information to filter against lists of words. So if I scroll down here, you can see there's various lists. There's a solution list, and then there's also a word list as well. So a lot of potential words. But I might be able to use the logical information that's already presented to you, the user, and basically filter down the list. And then if it gets to be less than 25, then maybe I can show that list visually just to show just how much information you really do have, even though it doesn't look like that much. Because the list, I believe, starts out around 12 or 13,000 possibilities, and that very quickly gets whittled down with just a little bit of information. So I do plan to download that JavaScript in the future and use it for some coding projects. But in this video, I'm just going to use my PLUMB, Windy, FRACK, and Ghost shotgun words and see how far we get. Okay. So we've played one game, we've won it. Let's keep going. Okay, pretty good. We got 3 letters so far. And 4. And it's also important to remember that these letters could be repeated. Well, it's not times because the I is not in position 2. But it might be smite. Okay. So it's P something A. Oh, it's probably Pearl. There we go. So you can see how, because these very particular words not only don't intersect each other letter-wise, but also due to the nature of them leaving only the least and most common letters, it really makes it easier to guess the correct word. And now that I've said that, I might have a very unlucky run here. Okay, so it might contain things like a V or an E. I suppose it could have some of these other letters as well. It could also have, well, for example, well, I was going to say sassy, but the S is not in position 4. But it could be a say. And it could have just as well been something else. Maybe there was a letter, maybe there was a word with an E in it, but I figured I would try that. So that was an interesting one because there were two doubles. That's interesting. L and B. Well, okay, I guess it could be, well, it can't be BL in the beginning. I guess I need more information, so we'll keep doing our shotgun strategy. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe Bible. There we go. Because I just happen to remember that E is the common letter that remains in the shotgun approach, and then there's three fairly uncommon ones, Q, Z, and X. And then there's a couple that are sort of in the middle, B and J, which I think are generally uncommon. Although I haven't proven that with math. That's one of the things I will do in the future with coding, is really figure out the commonality of each letter and the commonality of each letter in a particular location. Okay, so we've got 4 known letters. I was going to say liver. Now I know there's an A in it, so I know it's not liver. But I'm tempted to guess that to see if I gain information on the E, the R, and the L. But I'll give it a minute here. Let's see. R-I... Oh, rival, maybe. There we go. So if I had guessed liver, I would have gotten the position of the I and the V, and I would have known that the L was not in the beginning and the R was not at the end. And it probably would have been obvious at that point. Now the other thing, yeah, I guess there still could have theoretically, at least in terms of math, there could have been multiple combinations. I don't know exactly how many words there might have been that worked, but I probably could have gotten that one either way. That's interesting. Can't be that. Well, it can't be this either. Because of the S. Oh, nosy. Sometimes I just have to type different letters just to see them visually. B-A-O-T, boat. Like Abbott, maybe. Okay. So the T is somewhere in the first half, and the A is either the second letter or it ends in boa. So it's either something abo. Well, it's either T-A-B. Oh, it could be taboo. Let's just try it. Okay. Phew is right, because we could have ended this with a streak of only 7. We're not even up to 10 yet. I gotta speed this up. And I'm sure you're all watching at 1.5 speed. What is the other word? Frack. So we have T, U, I, N. It could also contain something like an E or a V. It could contain a duplicated lettered, like it could be U, N, or I, N in the beginning. Maybe until. Oh, but untie. Okay, unite. Few again. Okay. All right, we've got 2 real positions and 2 additional letters. So should I go ahead and guess that? I guess I should, because that's the point of the video, is to show the shotgun approach, and we've gained more information with that guess. Okay. So we've got 4 letters at least, because there could be duplicates. But I wonder if well, it can't be, even if that's a word. We know the L is not in position 2 and the A is not in position 3. So maybe it's F-A-T-A-L. Ooh. Boy, I'm getting a lot of 6 guesses here. Yeah, three, not only 3 in a row. We got to get this guess count down here. But the point is that the streak continues, so this is an effective strategy. Because it doesn't matter necessarily how many guesses it takes. What matters is, did you win? Oh, wait, the C is in the wrong place. Okay. I got lucky by gaining information that the E was in the position number 5. Okay. I don't like this. It's probably TLA, unless it's elate. Okay. Good guess. So I already guessed that. Okay. so we got 3 exact positions. So you can see this is an effective strategy a lot of the time. We still haven't lost. The video will end when I lose, or when I get tired. The one exception would be if I'm not paying attention and I guess one of these 4 words twice, that one won't count. Okay, so we have all 5 letters. Probably agony, which is what you're all going to be feeling as you watch me play another, 30 games, 40 games. We'll see how long it goes. Interesting. So we know those. It could contain, any of those letters, V, E, R. In fact, I'm going to guess both of those to gain as much information as possible, even if that weren't the answer, but it happened to be the answer. I generally favor guesses like this, that choose as many letters as possible, just because double, triple letters, etc. are possible, but not always very likely. And in a future video, I'll do an analysis of all the lists, and I'll get the likelihoods of double, triple. I'll see if there's any such thing as a quadruple. Probably not. I'll find out. Okay, that's... Oh, I was going to say glory, but we've already... Oh, and it can't be an O there. Oh, and the L can't be in position 2. Okay, that would have been the worst guess ever. So I guess it could be O. Now, I don't know if that's the spelling. Yeah, no, goalie for hockey, that's Goalie. So I don't know if this is a word. I'm not going to guess it, I don't think. Oh, it can't be gooey because we know the O is not in position 3. G-O-V? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this is the guess that I do, unless there's something else, like G-E-L-O-Y, but no. Golly, maybe. That I do know is a word, so I'll guess that one. Okay, good. All right, so we know it starts with G-R and it has an I and a P. There we go. 19 games. My previous record is 50, 5-0. And I only stopped because I got bored. Now, where I already know that it ends in OST, I could probably just guess it. But again, the whole point of this video is to show this as a strategy. Okay, so we gained enough information to know that it must start with an R. And again, the point is not to guess it as quickly as possible here. The point is to show that you can do really long runs with a shotgun approach, because the whole point of that is not to get it in the shortest number of guesses, it's to gain as much information as possible. Okay, oh, interesting, a B, okay. That should be easy, like it probably ends in IT. Well, yeah, because we know that the I is not in position 2. And I don't think I guess maybe it could end with, like, doubt, for example, would end in a BT, but it's not doubt because it has an I. Like dibit, bidit, bedit, debit. There we go. Let's make sure to spell these correctly. Okay, 4 letters. And in theory, oh, yeah, no, I guess that could theoretically work. Now, tort, like tort law, is T-O-R-T. And maybe T-O-R-U-E is a word in England or something. I wonder if tour is a word. I'm almost thinking that might be it, but I'm not going to guess that because I don't know that that's even a word. Oh wait, I do know that position 3 is a U. I know that position 2 is not R, so I know that it does not start with T-R-U. And in fact, I don't even know that it starts with a T. I was just thinking that it might. So it could be something T, U, O, R, or T, U, R, O. Or I could do something like vetoes to try and gain information. Although I don't like having the T in position 3 because I already know what position 3 is. So if I was going to try and gain information, I would probably do something like that, so that we're moving the R, we're moving the O, we're moving the T, and we're trying the E. In fact, I'm just going to try it. Okay. I was really hoping for at least 1 green because this might be the end of this video. So we know that U is in the middle. It either ends in O or it essentially begins with O. R is either position 1 or 4. And T is either position 2 or 4. Okay, that's interesting. So it is either TU or UT. Oh, and we do know that it contains an E. Okay, that was actually a helpful guess because we found the 5th letter. We know that it's O, U, E, R, and T. So it could end perhaps in, oh, it's route. Yeah, I was going to say it could end in UTE, and it does. Like, if this isn't it, I will be very surprised. Okay. So sometimes you live on the edge. That was the shotgun approach to the extreme, because guess number 5 was technically shotgunning because I was trying new letters and I was moving 3 letters at the same time. So I was gaining a lot of information with that guess. But it also meant that I had to get it on the next guess, the 6th, or I was done. So I cut it a little close, but it paid off. It just goes to show, again, the shotgun approach, although risky, is ultimately effective. Okay. Crowd. I almost typed in crowd. The whole point is to do shotgun approach, and particularly looking at these 4 words here and showing that they are very good. I will be happy if I get to 51. But it's always tough. It's probably something like CH. Oh, but it's not. Yeah. It's as good a guess as any. Up to 4. If I had had the 5th letter, I would not have guessed ghost, but okay, now we've got all 5. Maybe slurry with 1 R. Oh, but the U is not in position 3. Surly. There we go. Now I have to remember, it could contain a V or an E, or it could be a double letter. I was going to say river, but it doesn't have a double. Well, no, it could have a double R, but river does not have a P in it. Although it would test out if there's a V, if there's an E, and if the R is in either the first or the last position. So actually, it would almost guarantee that I know the position of the R. But let me think about this. Oh, Piper, maybe. Riper, I guess. Okay, that was lucky. There was a really good chance I could have lost right there. So 26, so I'm more than halfway to my previous record. All right, we've got 3 exact positions and the other 2. So because we know P is not in position 1, and we know the positions of the other 3, and we know all 5 letters, we actually know that it can only be clasped and nothing else. So that was an example of where you gain enough information from the shotgun approach that there's only one possible answer, which is the correct one. Okay, we don't have any vowels, so it probably involves some E's. I was going to say sewer, but no. There we go. Maybe there were other possibilities, but that was the most likely. Well, most likely to a human. I guess technically there is no such thing as most likely. There's just a length of possibilities. Wow, I don't think I've ever guessed 3 of these and not gotten anything, which means I might get a lot here. Okay, that's really interesting. Actually, if I had guessed ghost first, if I had gotten 4 letters in 1 word, I probably would have abandoned the shotgun approach and I would have just tried to figure it out. So it could end, for example, well, it can't be OSH, but it could be OTH. It could be soothe, for example. There we go. So I potentially could have gotten that one in 2 guesses if I had just guessed in a different order, but it looks like so far I'm basically getting everything at 5. typically there's an even distribution between around 5, so 4 and 6 are about the same. There might be the occasional 3. In this particular streak of 29 games, I have not gotten very lucky, with most things being 5 and not a single win at 4. Okay. I doubt that it starts KH, so it's probably something HAKI. 30, okay, we're 60% of the way to my previous record. Okay. I'm wondering if it's that. Yep. Lucky guess. Again, I'm always keeping in mind that the E is not used, so if I don't see a lot of vowels, and I'm also keeping in mind that doubles and triples do exist. Okay. Laugh. We're 2/3 of the way to my previous record. Oh, that's interesting. So it could be, well, it's either PUM or it's UMP. I'm gonna guess, gosh, I'm so tempted to guess grump. But again, the point is to use the shotgun approach. And this is a lot of duplication of letters, so this wouldn't be shotgun. But I'm going to keep in mind that the point is we're trying to guess GR. So if I can put 3 additional letters in and confirm the GR, like for example, grift, right? Okay, so now we've gained actually more information than I expected. Lovely. We've actually got a surprising amount of information already. Which means I'm not surprised that neither of those remaining 2 gained any additional information, but it is what it is. The point is to show the shotgun approach. That's what we're doing. Okay, we gained some info there. If I had gotten all 5, like for example, if I had guessed FRACK, then Windy, then Ghost, obviously I would not have guessed PLUMB because I would have had all 5 letters. Chair. So we're up to 36 games. That's 72% of the way to my previous record, which I did not lose. Oh man, I'm really tempted now to just guess. But let's think about what it might be. So it's not clump because there's no P. It's not plume because again there's no P, but Plum. Oh, slums, maybe. Okay, so the point is, I want to use the shotgun approach, and I want to test at least one S, maybe even two. So it doesn't really matter where I put the second S, because I will gain information on whether or not there's two S's regardless. But in order for the shotgun approach to be the one that I'm using, I want to use other letters, and I'm going to purposely put the S at the end. Oh, wow, I'm actually surprised that it was not SLUMS. So actually, because I was wrong, I shouldn't have guessed one with a double letter if I could have helped it. For example, I could have guessed scary, and that would have given me more useful information in this case. I just didn't know, but I didn't adhere to the shotgun approach 100% there. So let's go back. Let's do windy, because this brings us back to the shotgun approach where we're guessing 5 letters we've not previously guessed. And we've kind of messed up like the ghost word, FRACK, of course. So I need to think. We've used the U, so I can't guess ought. I'm trying to think of ways we can use the shotgun approach. I was going to say hover, but we've already guessed the R. Joker? No. Jokes? No. Um, okay, let's go back to the word. LUM. I mean, it's probably something like GULME or something. Whatever it is, it's not a word I'm immediately familiar with. Like LUMO. I don't know, nothing is coming to mind, so I don't think there's any particular letters that I need to aim to use. I'm trying to figure out 5 letters in one word that I haven't previously guessed. I mean, I know I've guessed the Y, but I gotta just move forward. Okay, that was a lucky guess. So it's either elump or flume. I don't know what flume is, but I guess that's the word. And actually, I got lucky enough on guess 4 that even if I got that wrong, I could have just swapped the two and I was basically guaranteed to win. So that was a very lucky guess. I have no idea what the word flume is. But now I know that at least according to Wordle, that is a word. Okay, now let's keep in mind it could have e's, it could, oh yeah, let's try that, and it could have double letters. Okay, 38, we're getting up there. All right, so we know it starts with FLA. Could be flags like GS. So I guess ghost has a G and an S, so we'll know. Okay, so yeah, so this is an example of where we gained more information using the shotgun approach than I would have guessed by using flags. Because by using the shotgun approach, I also know that the last letter is H. So let's think about this. If I had not used the shotgun approach, let's say that I guessed flags here. The first three positions would not have given me any additional information. I would have known there was an S, and I would have known that it was not in position 5, so I would have known the position of the S. So the real question is, are there any other words that start with FLAS other than flash? And if there are, like flays or something like that, then the shotgun approach would have been more effective. Or flas, I don't think any of those are words. So I think in this case it evens out. It's the same. I would have gotten it on guess 5. But what matters is that we got it. Okay, gusty. I'm really surprised that I've only gotten one game out of 40 in less than 5 guesses. That's uncommon. So I am not getting lucky. Okay, we got all 5. Yacht. Okay, we got all 5 letters, but we have no idea for positioning. We've got a B and an L. W and a Y. Oh, that's not a word, like you're bawling. Oh, I guess it wouldn't have been the answer anyway because the Y isn't in position 5. This is a tough one. It's probably another word I've never heard of, or for some reason I'm just not thinking of it. Like I'm not even thinking of anything to guess. I'm half tempted to just guess something like this, although the W would be in the same place there. maybe something like that, just to gain information. I did not gain as much information as I was hoping. I don't think it's BW. So we know it's not BL. We know it's not BA. So it's probably BY. Oh, bylaw. Let me just make sure I'm not guessing anything that's illogical. I think that's as good a guess as any. Okay, I got lucky again. 42 games. Okay, we've already got 4 letters. I'm very tempted. Let's see. Hmm. No, I'm going to keep using the shotgun approach. Okay, now we've got all 5, so we don't need to guess windy. Clasp? Well, it can't be clasped because the L is not in position 2. That's what I was thinking of. I'm just going to write it down here. And I'm not sure on that. Oh, well, for one thing, it's not that. Okay, scalp. Sometimes I just got to write it out. Okay, 4 letters. Wow. Okay, oh wow. So I know those 4. It's like, is that an E or a T? I don't think it's a word that I necessarily know. ETS. So let's guess each of those. What else might it be? Like an O, maybe? So in which case I could, even though I'm duplicating the R, I'm just going to guess that. Oh, none of those. Okay. FIN. It's not like an I, right? FINCI. Finkel. Finch. Oh, like the bird. Okay, I probably should have seen that before. I have been playing 45 games of this. So PRAY, it could have duplicates, it could have the letter E, it could have any of these other ones. It starts with a P, but it is not PR. You know, I'm not sure that it's PY. And it doesn't end in Y. Sorry, brain freeze, couldn't remember the 4th word. Okay, so I got 4 of those. Again, it could have duplicates, could have an E, for example. with an E. Mold. Let's try that. Model. There we go. I'm really glad I didn't lose on the 47th game when my record is 50. Okay, so probably an act. All right, so we know all 5 letters. "49 wins. So this is game number 50. Okay, we know 4 of the letters so far. Let's continue our shotgun approach. Okay, we know all 5. Let's play haunt. Okay, I've 50 games in a row, 50-game streak. So far, we've only won in 3 guesses one time, 4 guesses twice, 39 guesses. Almost 80% has been in 5, which means after the shotgun approach, 1 more guess, and then 8 times it's taken us 6. And of course, because we're still on a winning streak, it's never taken more than 6. So let's beat the previous record of 50. If we can. It could have E's. It could have duplicates. Wouldn't that be funny if I end up losing anyway on game 51 when I was, when I could have extended that? I was going to say Vixen, but there would be no A in it. And it can't be AIN because A can't be in the middle. Like it can't be VAN. Can't be like Vina. Okay, let me get this off the screen. I don't think it's helping. Let's see, what if it starts with an N? I suppose it could start with NAI. Naive. Naive. Yeah, naive is Knave, but yeah, naive. Okay, so there we are. Streak of 51, and I could keep going. But I could also just write some code to try these 4 words, guess one of the remaining ones, and then just do that hundreds, thousands of times and tell me what the longest unbroken winning streak is and see, how often it is at least 50 or 51. But I think I'm done. So we'll call this a new personal best winning streak of 51. Thanks for watching.